Alright. We got the shadow artifact. We saved the mayor. It's time for us to solve some unfinished business here at the forest, because now that I've gotten my chicken, what I'm actually here to check out is the fact that there is supposed to be a giant shadow demon temple around here. And if I am like any responsible hero, I should probably make sure that the thing is actually properly sealed so that Xerox can't come and, release all the shadow beasts.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just gonna be performing some basic security inspection, completely routine. So, let's see. So first on this checklist is, first, if somebody wants to approach the Shadow Temple, they have to contend with the rock. I can't imagine a boulder being too difficult to deal with, so I'm sure we can handle a rock.
And then you get to an it's actually...
Okay.
Oh. What are you doing? You madman.
All right, that security system is working just fine. Okay, laser eyeballs.
Well,
Never
that,
mind.
go ahead.
No, I meant I was talking about the security system's active. It's like, okay, never mind then.
Oh, okay.
Not
it's like-
by the dragon bird.
Oh yeah, the dragon bird.
That kind of rock.
Those eggs are worth their weight.
There was a typo on this checklist. I'm gonna have to call the manager.
So yeah,
It's
good.
I'm just thinking back to, for some reason, the Hoodwink, where it's like, you think about building the laser? I don't know. You think I should? Well, most standard lasers usually have one. They're up to code. Are you familiar with the code?
Oh god, I remember
This
that
is
whole
not
thing.
my fault. This was not built to code.
I just remember, the whole, set. I was like, oh, yeah, you can put one over there. I was like, oh, well, maybe. He's like, let's talk. Just say, start walking. Let's talk.
That was fun.
Dan,
You're a little teetering there.
Yes,
I'll be fine.
Your left foot is
close to
clearly
the
floating
edge.
on nothing.
It just crunches my toes between the wood.
So this part in particular can be pretty stressful, especially considering the fact you're going to have to deal with the dragon bird.
Right, that's the rock they're referring to.
Babies!
Because one of these things has a
Don't worry,
rune
they're
in
not
it.
babies. They're just...
There
See,
it is.
one of them was a gem, the other was a copper
the shield
shield,
out.
and the other was a bag of money. See, they're not
And
real babies.
And you want to have the shield out, because what just happened there was that, whenever that thing flies down, I don't know any way to dodge it. It's like guaranteed damage whenever
Yeah,
it
you
flies
have
by.
you have to have your shield out.
Otherwise, it will take damage. But yeah, there we go. We got the earth rune.
The dragon bird, such a menacing creature that we only get to see its feet.
I'm pretty sure
That's
that's
how
how,
menacing it
I
is.
would love if the concept art actually had that drawn. Like
Oh,
it's
oh
just
no,
its
no!
feet.
If you look back on the encyclopedia
Cliché.
of Gallowmere, it literally is just feet.
Yeah,
It's the feet.
it's like with Cow and Chicken, where their parents are literally just a pair of legs.
Exactly.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go. Okay, earth rune. Let's check it out.
Keep out. This gate leads to the tomb of the shadow demon.
Yeah, but I need to perform my security inspection. Okay, so the rock guarding the earth rune key, decent enough idea. Probably needs to maybe reinforce those eggs with some titanium. Maybe that'll help prevent them from breaking so easily. Okay, now we have to check the next part, which is, hang on, I think I actually skipped that guy because I was trying to whack these guys. Sorry, what's your name, dear? That's a weird pronunciation.
Hello, nonchallenger.
Now it's pronounced nonchalante.
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 You got it, Satine.
Okay, so
As a matter of fact, we just so happen to have that so-called shadow artifact.
yeah, from the safe, so we can check and make sure that all the locks are double bolted and sealed. So I'll just pull it out of my inventory here and check that out.
And you
Shadow
just use it
demons
as
are
like a crowbar to
Okay.
pry the door open.
All right, so door is nice and bolted properly. What we got here?
Sir Dan, you must take the shadow demon talisman. It is an unholy relic, but it may allow you to progress through shadow demon territory.
Well, who am I to argue with a voice like Miss Manellis? All right, let's solve the puzzle by. Honestly, I never knew how to solve this puzzle besides just like trial and error.
I
I'm
just
sure there's like a
I
clue.
just realized I think the solution to the puzzle is literally on that wall.
Maybe, but yeah, you just go in that order and then the pushes.
We may look
All right.
bad, but we don't care.
All right, I'll have that.
Good one.
I'll have that talisman now.
Now then, let's just make sure that nothing comes out. Ah, god damn it.
That's not a talisman.
That's a whole mess load of shadow demons we just unleashed.
Yeah, so this is the big part of this big story that no one ever talks about. But yeah, This is the part where Dan really royally screwed up and just did Zarek's job for him.
All that just for a shadow talisman.
Oh
I
dear.
think they could have just.
It's basically just Luigi's mansion where he gets like,
I'm glad you found the ghost, but I would have appreciated if you didn't, let every single devil damn one of them out.
You know, at the very least, Egad was willing to let that slide, but the Gargoyles not so much.
Shadow demons are wreaking havoc across the land, and it's all thanks to you.
We're kind of new to the hero thing.
You're not doing a very good job of redeeming yourself, are you, you stubborn bag of bones?
Bounds.
Oh, jeez. If they're heading to King Peregrine's castle, we should probably make our way over there soon. But for now, Shadow Demons.
Oh.
and there's
And
the
yeah,
Shadow
there's
Demon.
not-
The Shadow Demons here will, I mean, honestly, they're about as gruesome as the legends say. They will fuck you up if you don't have the enchanted sword on you on hand.
Dun, dun,
And they also disappear, so...
talisman!
dun,
Oh,
dun.
jeez. So bear in mind that they can rapidly dash around you after a few hits, but otherwise, gotta say, I know I mentioned the Jack of the Green, but I also genuinely love how the remastered handled these Shadow Demons. Like, they look like shadows.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Well,
a cool
too.
effect. Back in the old PS1, they just kind of look like dark polygons as they're supposed to. But here they kind of have a little bit of transparency to them.
Would you say it makes it a little harder to spot and kill them?
A tad, but I think that's the point.
It can be, but yeah, as he said, I think that's part of what makes them so devastating. But that's also the reason why defeating the frogs and plants is pretty much optional. It's really the Shadow Demons that add to the chalice percentage.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to mention the matter of fact that, well, just... You know what? I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
Nom nom.
No, it's okay. Well, it's just wasted energy trying to tackle all the frogs. I do them to get out of the way, but otherwise, like here, they're clearly in my way, but otherwise they don't add to the percentage much. It's
They
all
don't.
on the Shadow Demons. Out of the way, please. Oh dear.
Down out.
Get.
That being
There
said,
we
though,
go.
the Shadow Demons honestly only make much of a presence in, like, a small handful of levels.
You know, a detail that I only just now noticed, Dan's face and the life bar actually emotes now and then.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
It's just one of those things that's easy
You
to gloss
serious?
over, considering that it's, like, so wedged to the left, and, like, Dan's head is, like, pretty tiny.
Oh. That's really odd. These plant things are impervious to fire arrows.
Really?
Weird.
Don't ask how that works. Frickin'
Maybe
I
they
just need a.
maybe they soaked themselves ahead of time.
Maybe.
Oh, geez, that'd be smart. But yeah, okay. I just came back in here to get the chalice.
Yeah, that is one thing I always do find a little obnoxious in some of these levels, is that they're always placed in such a way where some backtracking is required.
Yeah.
Thank goodness
Yeah.
they're all relatively short levels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go.
Just,
yeah. Oh, hang on. There we go. Sorry, back to you.
Just, yeah, by this point you're gonna need, like, whatever... Just hold on to whatever shields and carry whatever health life
Oh.
potions you have, because, like,
Okay.
again, this is the point of the game where things will start screwing with you. Not the least of which is our upcoming pair of bosses.
Yep,
Oh,
so we
boy.
use that Shadow Talisman to disable the laser eyes, and I accidentally wasted a spear, which is not good because they're really strong. We have ourselves here, I don't know what the bestiary calls it, but
They're the Harpy Sisters.
I call them the
Harpies.
I call them the Demonettes.
They
You
don't
could have
really
called them
look very.
succubi.
They don't really look particularly feminine though.
They're definitely they
They're
call
even-
they. Yeah. Oh yeah, Demonettes.
The Demonettes, okay. Well,
Demonettes.
whatever the
Ah,
case.
there you go.
They're women?
Yeah. So right now, gonna say charged spear shots are my favorite to go for, and yes, I'm taking inspiration from SGB's playthrough of the game for that.
Which is fine because even though they were playing
Okay.
the original game, the same strategies can still apply to this remake.
Just, yeah, you can't rely on melee weapons for this fight. You primarily need to use long-range weapons.
And you need to be careful because because this platform, if you fall off it, that's an entire life file down. And once one Demonette is destroyed, they're gonna start summoning a bunch of fire boulders. But fortunately, I took them both down evenly, so one more, bam.
There you go.
Down they go.
You know, that's a boss that would fit right at home in Devil May Cry 2.
I've been down for it.
I don't know. I think they have a little. I think they have enough on them to hold themselves over for either 1 or 3.
MediEvil cried. I'm just saying.
MediEvil cry.
No, I just mean the fact about
there.
how, like, you pretty much need projectiles to actually beat the devil damn things. Kind of like in Devil May Cry 2.
Well,
Oh, that's
Okay.
at least to this game's credit, not every boss needs to be taken out with firearms.
and at least there's like actual like risk reward to using your ranged weapon, right? Because like you have a limited number of these suckers, and that costs
Right.
money.
And there's
Imagine
actual
if Ebony and Ivory had to buy each bullet separately.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Oh man.
All right, and with that, the Enchanted Forest is complete.
Every
And
now
thank-
and magical guns. I would hate to have that shit be limited.
Yeah, and thanks to that one kindly gargoyle head, we now know what our next mission should be. Now that we've kind of screwed up and, released the one thing we were trying our hardest to not release.
It's a shame that these guys never bring up the fact that you actually release the Shadow Demons.
Oh, frickin' what's his face? The guy who gave me the great sword. He would never let me live that
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Thanks for the vote of
Fuck you,
confidence.
too.
I have something here for you. You like it very much? You want?
Aren't.
Okay.
I would love if he just stood there. Okay, money's. I'm okay with money. I've seen it, and just gotta say right now, one of the rewards these guys can give you is legitimately just like health vials. Not even like the little ones. Not even like
Yeah.
a main flask. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is literally worthless. I can literally go into any level and get that. I could go into level 1 and get a free heal.
I mean, it's handy if you need the vials at that point in time, but otherwise, yeah, that is a pretty lackluster thing to earn.
Right. So anyway, so
Oh boy, this particular level is
Ghouls
pretty
of the
infamous.
Ancient Dead.
I mean, I like it visually, but it's like, yeah, this is a level where this is pretty much the point where it really shows that the platforming in this game could be better.
at least it was definitely back in the old PS1 days. I think they've improved upon it a lot here, but yeah, and this is the part where now you're really going to want every single health flask you can get.
Yeah.
This, in lore-wise, this was where the great battle that Dan died in happened.
It's all become a complete cesspool.
With acid water. At least I think
Ugh.
that's acid.
Nah, we just can't swim.
The ones in green.
So the pool
Could be the
because it's
reflection of
eerie.
the scenery.
Yeah, and all the moss and the moon. Look at the green clouds up above.
Wreaking death. We remembers an ancient battle fought here between the forces of good and the dark armies of Zarek. Now the marshes are full of the restless dead.
Oh, I thought he was gonna make a joke about try not to muck it up this time.
Well,
I get it.
Well, I do know that, like, during the loading screen, they didn't make a joke like that. It's like, try not to trip on your own grave.
Get them shoved in the swamp.
That'd be funny, actually.
That mud will never come out.
So yeah, so that's our trick. That for the heavy armor knights, none of our weapons can actually deal damage to them. Our only option is to. Oh geez, and we also have a
Oh
lake beast.
gosh, it's a kraken.
Tentaclino.
Oh god, not him. And yeah, we're just gonna use our hammer to whale him into the water.
You can use the
Otherwise-
hammer. You can also charge into them.
Oh nice.
Doop.
Yeah, that's how you destroy them. Otherwise, they'll try to bounce you into the muck as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Be careful. And yes, as that percentage shows, a lot of enemies here. And
Oh,
hello,
hey,
Death.
Grim.
Hello.
It's Death.
Greetings, stranger. I am the boatman. It is I who ferry lost.
He sounds very cheerful for death.
The land of the dead.
You gotta enjoy your work. Oh,
Have we not met before? Sir Daniel Fortescue. Not you two. Them up to me eye sockets and lost souls who've woken from the eternal
To me
sleep.
eye sockets.
Business hasn't been this brisk since before they invented sanitation.
Aw.
well.
I just always find like characters that have like
You help me to gather
black hoods for a face to be quite compelling, and I like it.
Oh, like
Yeah,
you're like where you don't see the yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's visually compelling in design.
Yeah, it's just the whole element of mystique.
Yeah, oh no, there's a bunch of I know like for instance like that's why real talk like more so than any other adaptation of it, I love how they designed the Ghost of Christmas Future in
In the
the
Muppets.
Muppet. Yeah, that weird like almost like eldritch looking like creature with a great vacuous hole for a face.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, careful.
Anyway, I'll be right back, guys.
No
Okay,
worries.
So yeah, the whole point of this level is that Grim wants us to find some relics of the soldiers that have passed here, and well,
About 8 of
essentially
them.
they carry the souls of the dead.
Yep, and be careful because as you're noticing, whoa, jeez. As you're noticing, to be very careful because every time we collect one, more bridges around this place will start to collapse and more enemies will spawn. And although the light armor guys can walk in the muck, we cannot. And this is where I think Hype's already mentioned it, but a cool little secondary thing we can do with the Daring Dash ability is basically this game's equivalent of Mario's long jump, which we're gonna have to make ample use of while we're trying to get through these platforms.
I mean,
like
you say that. I would say a more apt comparison would be Wario's charge jump.
That too. So, oh no!
Oh!
Nuts! And
He
like
just had
seriously,
to, he stepped, put one foot in the water, and down he goes.
that's why you need all the life bottles you can get. Oh, okay.
Just yeah,
So-
this level really does. Again, this level really highlights how fickle the platforming in this game can be.
Excuse me.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's the only time where it's really put to
No
worries.
nothing much.
We just got like tripped over on stuff, and we're just using the Daring Dash to stop these things. And I'm actually curious now that we're into this level, and it's going to be amazing. Mainly me fighting a bunch of guys, so I may as well liven it up a little bit.
I think there's also another level where what was the serpent's name again?
Oh no, he doesn't appear here.
Oh,
that was
I could have sworn he appeared in this level.
I think he did in the original.
I think he did. But yeah, in this game, only technically, if you consider a bonus, only 3 levels have the snake appear in them, and we've already seen 2 of them.
I forgot what
Anyway.
the second one was.
It's part of the bonus challenge. One of the bonus challenges. It's the asylum. Get in.
Oh, okay.
Anywho's.
So what were you wanting to liven things up with?
I'm curious, what were your guys' first experiences with horror, like in general, like as a kid?
I don't know if this counts, but Beetlejuice.
That's
Oh,
fine.
that's-
I think
that's a
I think
good
it totally
choice.
counts.
Beetlejuice!
I was about to say, you say it's a good choice. I remember that double damn snake really haunting me.
Oh, the snake Beetlejuice. Yeah, no, it was creepy imagery. Oh jeez. Okay.
I
Chain
mean, for
reaction.
the longest time, I didn't want to watch it because of how scary the cover looked. And then, as soon as I got to college and we watched it for a friend's birthday, I liked it.
It's silly.
Honestly,
It is silly.
as far as like horror stuff is concerned, I'm sure there's something else I experienced beforehand, but the earliest I can recollect anything horror related was Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that's a good one too. That's a classic.
Yes, I love Hocus Pocus.
Was it you, Hype, who mentioned that there's this other there's this old
By the way,
story
might
based on
wanna
a
run.
wolf. Oh yeah, time to run because those things are after us. But if you have the Daring Dash, then you can outrun them any day.
Yeah, but anyway, what were you asking me?
Was it you who mentioned that there's that one oh yeah, here's the last helmet, and oh boy, another
Oh,
little
of course, there's a goddamn ambush.
Yeah, was it you who mentioned that you once saw a movie that had really creepy puppetry? That it was based on a Roald Dahl movie where the witches turned into rats.
I don't remember the name of the book. I think the movie was called The Witches or something. And what's
Yeah.
funny is that like Jim Henson actually helped with the puppetry, but it's just I remember I saw that movie once, and the ending scarred
Where they
me
turn
so devil damn badly that I now kind of hate the movie.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I watched it. I thought he was just making it. I thought he was just making overreacting. But they genuinely made some creepy freaking rat puppets for that. And the sounds and that's
Yeah, and the sounds and it was that ending where all the bad witches were being exposed, and particularly the one where I think it was like the main witch transformed into her true ratty form is what
Right.
scarred me the most.
Oh, jeez,
And
rats.
it's like, which in hindsight, if I handled that as poorly as I did, then I'm not quite sure if I'm not quite sure if my core can handle watching Dark Crystal, even though I do want to eventually.
Dark Crystal honestly isn't. From what I remember watching that movie with Tara a long time ago, I don't remember it being like overly. Oh, by the way, I hate those flying enemies.
I think they're called wraiths or something. But yeah, they're kind of annoying.
I remember watching Dark Crystal some time ago, and I do remember some bits being a little intimidating, but I never found anything about it particularly scary.
Well,
Well,
I know
how-
for a fact Age of Resistance definitely upped that, because
yes.
I don't remember where they showed it, but they were showing various scenes of Season 1, and it's like, they did not hold back.
Oh no, no! I like the concept of taking a mature story and just using puppetry, but to elevate it in some ways, because it's all practical effects, and it's really cool to see.
Would you say they went a little too far in that sense for the Netflix show?
Well, I will say that, like, again, from the snippets I've seen, it definitely goes a lot more extreme in terms of its horror. Like, there's one scene where one of the, I don't know if it was one of the Skeksis or one of the other creatures, they had, like, their eyes held open, and I think rats were eating them.
Oh,
jeez.
God.
Oh gosh.
It's very.
It sounds like it was clearly just made for the people that actually watched the first movie so long ago.
It's interesting to see how, like, I don't know, like, it's all in the interpretation. Like, if it was like, I don't know, if it was like a weird, it's like, I'm sure it wasn't depicted as bloody.
Oh yeah, I love in between our trip to the next.
We take a
level.
break here.
Yeah, I was about to say that Death there actually
13.
let us
Dude,
have,
just talking about horror.
But yeah, Death literally just let us have a quick stop over to the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah.
Do you mind getting me a Slurpee?
I hear they have an open bar.
Honestly, I can just imagine him, like, after he's done here, he just picks up one of the goblets from the floor, fills it with whatever slurping machine they have.
Takes it for the road.
Yeah.
Hey, gosh dang, we're going back to Ravenhoofs.
Back to Ravenhoofs.
Oh.
What is it, Ravenhoofs? I'm sorry. I know you're a nice guy, but when I go here so often, when I'm expecting so many other people, it's always kind of a disappointment for me.
Look, I'm sorry, it's just, I get lonely sometimes, and people don't like to hang out
Oh,
with
snap.
me
Actually,
because
this is
of
actually
the
really
A
good.
magic longbow.
I think that's the last thing he gives you.
Yep, other than that, he'll give us, like, normal miscellaneous, but this is the magic longbow, which actually is the spear is really good, but in terms of fast-paced combat, the magic longbow is definitely our fastest ranged, most powerful weapon we got.
So it essentially just renders the whole spears obsolete.
I think so. They're basically faster spears. That was me finally reading the book saying, "Oh yeah, when these things were ethereal." I'm somewhat of a hero. I'm like 50% hero, maybe.
I'd say 65% at this point.
Yeah.
I'm 1/5 hero on my father's side.
Who's your
First
father?
moved.
None of your business.
So
Fair
yeah,
enough.
join us in the next part as we're going to be continuing our adventure across the lake towards the king's castle.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.
I asked for a cherry Slurpee.